Hello, how are you? And how do you do? I'm Hambbage, and I'm glad you're here. We are, as always, playing hardcore vanilla Minecraft and still plugging along here in our Toehold on Eternity world. So let's launch it up. Um, in today's episode, we're going to continue on from what we had discovered and talked about yesterday's the last two episodes. Um, we want to finish up our Ghast Hall. At least the clearing of it and the functionality part. And we want to get this sword finished up. Pretty sure this was the last that we had, right? We were just hoping to get done and not quite able to make it as we ran out of time. So we've got a little while to go. This did not work out as I'd really hoped to have. 4 picks repaired in an episode, and clearly we started down here in our first episode. We used an entire episode in the second yesterday to try to repair, and we'll have this little bit left over. So, yeah, longer than I'd hoped. We have talked about ad nauseum the fact that a legitimate Enderman farm would be a big help getting the XP needed to quickly repair tools. At some point we're going to have more than just 4 picks too for projects as they grow a little bit. Having more than 4 gets to be a big advantage. We can see that clearly enough in working on this Hall project. We don't quite fully clear the area with 4 picks, even at partial height. So, having half dozen or up to maybe like a row, so 9 picks, and maybe a split of as many shovels and actual axes would be a pretty good way to do it. That one wandered off. You two are done. That's the one that... Always listen for that overhead sound, because it's when they can get dangerous. Let's see what we've got up here. Hi. Still getting warmed up this morning. It's another reason it was kind of okay to have a little bit of carryover on this project. And, well, I guess in a perfect world, you start every day's episodes with clearing out some netherrack or something like that. Kind of gives you a chance to get back into the feel of the game and kind of condition back. It doesn't always happen. And this is pretty routine combat. So once we do this, probably in the following episode, we will then be turning our attention to. Oh man, I still didn't re-verify. Arbalistic, something like that. The advancement I'd overlooked, and am now turning our attention to wrapping up before the 118 release. So we'll look to crossbow some mobs. Hope you guys are all doing good. I definitely appreciated all the new folks that came by through the Thanksgiving, I guess, beginning of the holiday itself. And I don't know how many of you folks actually were observing Halloween, Thanksgiving. But I hope you had a good one. And if it was just a regular Thursday, Friday for you, well, then double thanks for coming by. It's really cool. We're really on the cusp of getting to more of the HCMC finishing advancements, so stay tuned for that. The big one for anybody who's watched advancement-based content in the Java version, at least, how did we get here is kind of the climactic advancement, and it is centered on, or has at its core, the point of it, getting all of the advancements, or all of the game effects active on your on Hambbage. So, I think anything in the game, poison and strength, all the beacon effects, all the potion effects, and then a few of the ones that don't all fit in. Notably, mining fatigue, which we get from the Elder Guardians. Dolphin's Grace, the speed swimming in the oceans. Levitation. We talked about that one, getting the shulker to give us levitation. So there's a lot of these, kind of forgotten or not really focused on effects, that when you think like, okay, I'm gonna get all the effects, that'll be fun, easy, and then it's like, okay, well, how am I gonna get a dolphin and a shulker in the same place? That's not easy. And some of these effects have really short staying time, such as Dolphin's Grace. I think that one is 15 seconds. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but it's short, fairly short. And there are some that are much shorter than that. Some of the potions and things. So you really have to kind of pick and choose what order you want to do things in order to get them lasting. Now, others have super long effects. Voluntary X. Oh, well, that's the advancement. I always never know the one that will trigger the raids. We get that from being struck or killing a pillager leader, the banner guys, and then Hero of the Village also lasts for nearly an hour. I think the exile effect or outcast or whatever it is lasts longer than Hero of the Village, but one's 45 minutes, one's close to an hour, I think. So there's lots of time around those two, but again, the others primarily centered on oh, here I am still doing stuff. Okay. Guys, we're done. Alright. Slot that back to there. That in. Now we'll have to deal with some of the mess we made. Control Q. Oh! 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 That was a disaster. That was me rushing. We'd almost done it once before. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Now I just have a wrathful desire to kill. Oh, that's why you don't rush the episode and do it before you made coffee in the morning. Oh, man. That's going to cost. I mean, we've got more. Now we have to prioritize getting apples, though, which I really haven't done. We can buy apples from somebody, right? Is that just the farmer traders? Maybe we should start doing that. We've got lots of gold. I'd hope to use a lot of that for a gold beacon to go along with our iron one, but when it comes right down to it, no. Oh, that was almost a full stack, too. That's one of the most expensive things I think I've ever done in this game. Just deleted a stack of golden apples. Oh, you guys can go back in the video and look how many were in there. I think it was, I want to say like 56 golden apples in that stack. I may be pulling that out of nowhere, but oof. Oof. We'll come up here and see how many more we still had. 48. Alright, you think we can be careful? No real need to clear any of that. We'll just fill up in the netherrack here. And go. Oh, okay. Well, such is, and it's one of the things I love about hardcore Minecraft. It's, you know, it's one of those things that in life you may, scream and get mad and stamp your foot, and there's nobody to blame but yourself, right? But you'll look for excuses. Why? How could that have ever happened to me? Life's so unfair and all that. And in other types of games, you might bounce back to a save and be like, all right, well, I'm not gonna work to go get another stack of apples to have some spare ones. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Obviously, I didn't intend to do that, but I did, right? And that's one of those things you're forced to contend with in hardcore. Mistakes hurt bad. I'm just glad that wasn't a mistake that cost us the world, right? On the heels of Thanksgiving, I know I kind of talked through a lot of that the end of one of the episodes, but it's a good reminder to be thankful for what you do have, even when things are bad. Maybe you've got a sibling or a parent or family member or something who's got a bad illness, and things aren't looking good, or the job that you hoped for and had and thought was going good didn't work out, and either you had to leave or they laid you off or something like that, and you thought things were on the right track, and then they turn. It can be easy to go, oh, my life's terrible. I've got all, it's so awful. Oh, you kind of drama queen it a bit. But there are still things to be thankful for. And in this case, the most obvious is we're still here and kicking, right? We can easily go, easily enough, go replace our stock of apples. That's golden apples. That's not relatively a huge deal. And we're fortunate we've amassed a large quantity of gold. So, honestly, it won't even be that much. Let's see, you need 8 apples per per 8 gold ingots per apple. So that's not quite a gold block per golden apple. So if you think of it that way, would it be 56 blocks for 64 apples, maybe? Getting the extra 1 per. We can check our math and see what I'm thinking, right? You get 1 extra, you get enough left over after that to do the extras, maybe. Let's see. But yeah, rub some dust on it, right? Shake it off. Get back in the game, and we still are cruising along on this awesome haul. And now only have that much of this netherrack to push back and forth on and get cleared up. So things all in all are pretty darn good. I don't think we're going to need any golden apples while we're doing this. To a little extent, we really don't need them too often. I like to have them ready and snack when we're fighting the dragon in the guardian temples, the flooded ocean monument temples. Those are good places to have, just kind of keep golden apples going, because you get that absorption, and you can top off your health even when you're full. So if you take a lot of damage but you've already eaten steaks, it will ding down on that food balance. But if you suddenly find yourself down to like 2 of the red hearts left of your health, and your meat pops, like right now, are at full strength, yeah, it'll start to repair you, but you can't eat anything as soon as you take damage. And then only when that meat pop goes down can you eat more, and those won't stack. So really, for a pure food heal, you need to let it do its thing, heal as far as it can, a heart and a half, and then eat again to get the maximum benefit. But if you supplement that with golden apples, you can really reset your health very quickly and get through, almost without even the fire prot on our armor and the any potions or anything like that. You can almost hang out in lava without having a real threat to your life if you have enough golden apples. You can just keep slamming them down. I don't recommend it, especially early game when you don't have a lot of armor. You are a fancy little skelly, and you're gutting me so far away from where I want to be. Oh, did he have... He didn't drop any of that chainmail stuff? Too bad. I think we still need a hat and boots on the chainmail. So we are, it feels weird, but we are now on a Saturday. So now everybody's got a weekend. I mean, I understand some people work on weekends, but what's everybody got planned for their big weekend? If you're scattered around the world, not in the United States, you got more going on. It's supposed to be just a gorgeous day. It was already pretty nice yesterday. Maybe this is the cooler one. A few of the days in the next are in the 50s and a little cooler, but a lot of the forecast is like, yeah, low to mid 60s really. But sunny and dry, and again, for knocking on the doorstep of December, it is just beautiful. I don't have too big of plans, but I think today is the day I go to get my Christmas wreath to hang outside, and I do a thing of lights and make it festive around here. You're too far. I would appreciate no more of that. So that one sounds like it's on the near side. We probably will have to go take care of it. It's here though. Get a few of these little oversights. I don't know how I was doing so badly there. And I'm not sure if those are maybe... It's probably more than likely, I mean, based on my track record in this episode, I'm just missing them and not seeing them when I look back along the row. But I do wonder at times if the ghasts help show off any invisible blocks where they may have broken in our instance, but the game world didn't actually update them as being gone. And then when the fireballs go past, they show back up again, much like if you try to place a block on top of the clay. Clay is the one where we see that the most these days. And only when you try to place a clay block does it go. Now, if there are others in the space, we wouldn't see them as much because they're not going to get in the way. We won't bump into them and not be able to move, so tougher to appreciate. But again, you know, as you're going up and down like this, the netherrack texture is difficult to see one standing away from the background and go, oh yeah, that clearly is separate. Almost there, guys. So yeah, yesterday obviously I didn't come back for any evening videos. I'd said, you know, maybe there's a 50-50 chance. It was pretty rough, honestly. I watched the last football game of the season for the Colorado Buffaloes, and that was predictably painful. knew from the outset they were going to have a tough time with a good Utah team. And that part, I kind of knew what I was in for, and you like to watch to support the ends of the careers of folks, seniors that have been playing in college athletics for a long time. But I don't know. The part that was really tough for me. So that Colorado was big underdogs. I think they were. Utah was favored by 24 points, which is a lot. And in the first half, they start the game, got an interception, and in good field position, kicked a field goal. So right from the start, they took a 3-point lead and then proceeded to not do much for the rest of the half until the very end when they got the ball back again and kicked a field goal. And I think they were down 14-6 at the end of the first half's regulation play. So they played very tough, and they've done this a couple times where against good teams. Stop breaking my stuff. I guess we should do a little demo about. That's something I don't know. Can we get Ghast to kill other Ghasts with their fireballs, or are they immune? I mean, they shouldn't be, right? Because we can reflect them back. And I'll just do a loop. Ooh, maybe we should do some of this while we're out here. This is what may, depending on how much time we end up spending up here, may drive us to putting in a ceiling. But we were under halfway through the episode, so we're moving along pretty well. This is far from ideal, though. Come on. Come on. Ugh. I recognize this has been a bad way to do this. Stop it. Oh my goodness. Oh. Seriously. Oh my. There. How do we do this? Can't even place these blocks quickly. Guess we can do that. Guess we didn't even need to do the other. Oh, it's all coming back to me. Had we done this in the other world? Can't remember. Feels very. I know I have done this, but hung a ceiling where maybe we. I don't get it. Again, having just kind of come in and done this early morning here, I've got a little bit of a light factor, but I can't seem to hit anything. But while I struggle with this, what I was, it got tough and frustrating for a fan of. Don't hit the ceiling. Okay, that was good. It's working very well. Now, here's the question. I don't think... Oh, I heard an angry yell. Ha 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 ha! And tears. Okay. We get a lot of ghasts. Let's... Maybe switch to bow. Oh, don't do that! Dang it! Got more on my ceiling. But we got tier. Tier's pretty good repayment. Another tier. Another tier. Now, in theory, you could put like a glass... I don't even see these. Oh, down here. You could put like a glassed walkway, and as long as you left like a half slab area to shoot through, you could let the gas spawn and just go up and down and shoot them. You could even put in, if you were really self-loathing or just liked them, you could build the minecart collection system and collect all those back up. How are we doing on 32? So we have 8 dragons just in hand right now. That's amazing. So we will not be short. The torches are going to become a problem. I saw this was kind of that weird in-between area, but here was one that got broken. Trying to miss the fireballs and still get them. So yeah, the materials are fantastic. You know, having all this not get broken is great. Definitely think it needs a better lighting solution than just dumping a bunch of torches, because clearly they're just going to keep getting fireballed. Really go over? Oh no! The other thing would be to just embrace the ceiling fireballs and eventually get it to where it's all... Seem to be accepting this. The game heard me. Just keep aiming them up until it's all bedrock above us. Kind of on the jagged scale. Because I don't want to do more of this just run around frustrating height netherrack. We may still end up doing effectively that by if we did blast out a lot of this and try to hang different materials, but I'd like to, depending, how much we want more tiers down the road, I may want to hang something, and then, as I talked about, maybe do sea lanterns or something for lights up above, something that wouldn't break with the ghast fireballs. They are being very generous with the tiers, though. Those are outside ghasts? I don't even know which end is which. Okay, that's our door. And we can run up and down a little quicker. Had we finished down here? No, we hadn't. Let's at least try to do that and then clean up all this stuff. Uh-oh. That was my bad. All that pretty ceiling work just wrecked. Not even getting tears at the moment. So no, that was XP. Oh, there was a tier there, though. So this kind of becomes never-ending. You try to go around to clean up all the drops, and you're probably going to continue to get mobs showing up. But I think we've proven, for a long build and kind of big, it does deliver when it comes to ghast production and getting tiers, which is what we set out to do. Okay, we will just tidy this up a bit. Might as well keep one here. At some point, we want to get more blackstone stairs just to finish this out. But I don't know about you guys. I think until we just obtain some more blackstone almost accidentally, we'll leave that. We're going to head back to base, though. Kind of wrap up. Do a sort, clean up all the materials that we've gathered as a result of our efforts here. Let's check the time. 40. It's been a long time since my voice started cracking, but it kind of pulled there. Oh, hey, not nice. The lava slime part of the episode was early. You guys are Running late. Alright, I don't think we have any need for those. We'll hang on to that one. This is regular granite, and these are pretty much all going to be on that far side. So let's throw this down. Hi, regular slime. I haven't seen your type in a while. Way behind on the count. Should we give that a look-see? No, yeah, mobs, right? But what do we have? Any particularly noteworthy new stuff? Man, these are going to be damage dealt, jumps. Our blocks placed may have changed a little bit. Damage dealt, we're up over 100,000. Mobs, here's the numbers that should have gone up quite a bit. We're still at just under 3,200 for Creepermen. Endermen are about half that after we've been farming them. 176 Ghast. That's moving up nicely. Magma Cube. 8,700 Magma Cube. And we're a regular slime, only 3,000. So yeah, big leader in the clubhouse. And items for blocks. Netherrack is in the lead there. What's the dropped, picked up, used, or placed? Isn't there like a placed? Yeah, no, it's just using the tools. Picked up. I guess this can do it. It's crazy. Granite just gets on the first page of the list with 9,000. Blackstone is all the way down here, 6,700. I thought we'd felt like a lot more than that. All right, well, that was kind of a fun look. Let's do the rest of this granite. This isn't particularly efficient with a still crowded inventory, but we'll get these moved. Alright, now gunpowder. Not the gas. Definitely don't have anything on the creepers for that. Put these two cobble away. Oh, that was from where we broke the wall on the build. Okay. Done there. Now do our old blue lineup. Find out which one's the usual suspect, right? Come on. Nothing. Should we just run back and I didn't realize all their shulkers still had room. Actually, I kind of did. And no, we're not going back for more netherrack. Alright, let's do basalt. And that one's empty. Alright. Obsidian, that goes over here. Kind of as a one-off. Magma creams and cubes, or blocks. No blocks. Soil, and sand. Gunpowder bones, those will go on the big chest. Flint. Alright, I think we're good for over here. These, this. Leave all that stuff. These slimes heard. They were like, wait, how many lavas? Like, we want to be represented on the stats sheet. And let's put these away for now. We may do a lot of dragon hunting. So 10. How many? We've done 4 or 5? 5 maybe? We're getting there. What's 21? It's what gets all the portals, maybe? Alright. Shulker. Now, goodie box goods. Goodie box gear. This is where apples go. That looks all pretty good right at the moment. Oh man, such a bummer on those. But honestly, I don't think we need to carry these. It's kind of cool to have them. Like I said, maybe someday we use like a dispenser arrow trap. I guess they'd be effective there, but kind of just a waste. This made me think, yeah, it was helmet and boots of the chainmail varieties that we don't have. And talking about all the how did we get here, the wither roses will be handy for that to give us the wither effect. That's one you can't neglect. But we do have lots of gold. We have no apples. We have a good batch of emeralds, though. So let's just go take a peek at our villagers and see if we can buy apples. Oh, right. I didn't know that that little bit wasn't covered. It's interesting. Alright, who's got apples? First of all, what do we got for emeralds? Apples? Apples. 1 emerald for... Alright. Um. Okay then. What's up, cats? I think all the other times I'd carry to bed. Since there isn't one ready for me, I am going to just go back with our 60 apples. Doing it again. Same thing as I always do. What are you doing on my respawn anchor room? Just what you guys wanted, some more slime killing. But this is multicolored. Maybe the screenshots will want that. Yeah, we'll do that. Although the ghasts would be kind of cool. We had some good face-to-face ghast shot action that could be a thumbnail too. Seems like a lot of the recent thumbnails that YouTube has selected have been of the slimy variety. Reasonably so. A couple of episodes we haven't left that little area. Alright, let's go dump all these slimes. And go back upstairs and goldify these apples. Now I have no emeralds back at the trading hall. that will, mark my words, that will be a problem at some point. No, I'm not even going to bother with the ingots that we do have. So it was a little better than I thought. Because my thinking was with 56 we should have had a stack left, but not even. So, all right. Well, there's a replacement apple stock. And yeah, that was a costly mistake. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's kind of costly too, but that's not a mistake. That's intentional. All right, there's that. That there. We need food pretty badly. But let's just sleep. We'll check the time. We should do animals. And we'll do some of this in the next episode as well as we're setting up our arbalistic advancement. Let's go up and those gave me those gave me a momentary creeper vibe. First two cleared. Nothing there. So like I said, I think like with Zap, we'll set something up right in this area for our arbalistic advancement. We can cook up a bit more steak, but let's keep this pick in hand and do a bit more breeding up of our friends at least. And at some point while we're gathering out animals, we'll get them sorted. Got this down fairly low for lag's sake, just having fewer mobs. chickens are pretty full, though. We could just cook a bunch of chicken, but it's not as good a food. Could throw some eggs. Oh, do we have seeds down here? We have seed. We processed all those seeds. Oh, can you imagine if we were like actually low on seeds? Don't think that's a deal, really. Just a matter of finding the right box, grabbing a bunch. And jumping in with the chickens. Sadly, no experience for the egg chickens. But you can see our pick. When it's ready to go, this is way faster than slimes and all that for repairing. But you gotta wait for them to reset, and we don't really have either chickens or cows at the point where they're ready for a big harvest. But this will help. We'll be able to do it in the next episode. And in addition to getting our advancement, our pick should be back to fully juiced. We'll have a whole bunch more feathers when all is said and done. Okay. More eggs. Should be getting back to under control a little bit, I think. Alright, now just enough of this to let me make a break for the door. Take that. I don't know if I'd shared this a while back. I had the, I don't know, it wasn't like a powerful or overwhelming experience by any means, but you guys ever cracked an egg and had a double yolk? Yeah, makes a lot of sense, right? Kind of twins type deal, but as far as I remember, it was the first time that I've ever had that happen. And I was kind of like, this seems like one for the interwebs. Oh, Google, how often do, I think I said something like, are double yolked eggs rare or something like that. And this was a while back, so forgive me, I don't remember all of it, but like the article that actually caught my eye, that I actually started reading into, was from somewhere in the UK, and it was written by this woman who had been like hanging out with a girlfriend, and she was a woman as well, and they were baking. Um, got together and make some breads or something. Kind of the baking party gifts and all that. So they were hanging out anyway, and it was kind of a fun deal. Well, they had gone to a local shop, probably high end, but like local produce and all that, not a supermarket. Even though in Europe and places those are a little less common than here anyway. But this was just local fresh produce, and they'd gotten a thing of eggs. A little. I don't know if it was 6 or a dozen. I can't remember exactly, but they cracked and got a double yolked egg, and then they cracked again, and the next one was double yolked, and they were kind of like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And in the course of their deal, cracked through, and I think all but one of the eggs had at least 2, and I think one had 3 yolks in it. And they were like, "What's going on?" And reached out to, this woman was a newspaper columnist or writer or something, and so she reached out to, the Chicken Association or whatever, and was like, "What's the deal? What are the odds of that happening so many times in a row?" And it's actually pretty interesting. I presume that these people know what they're talking about, so I'm not going to question the facts too much, other than healthy skepticism. Oh, we're over. All right. I won't cliffhanger that story too much. So long, could have been longer story short. Young hens have a tendency to double yolk as they're first beginning to produce eggs. It's a deal. And it's like 1 in 1,000 chance of, over all chickens is what they said, of getting a double yolked egg. But as they begin to produce eggs, there's a much higher chance. And because egg farmers, people who raise hens specifically for eggs, will typically start and replenish their flocks at the same time, you suddenly have a much higher percentage. Because if somebody went out and bought, I don't know how big or, what the volume would have been, but say they bought 100 hens, and they just go to the poultry store breeder or whatever and go, "Hey, I need 100 young chick hens to bring to my farm," and then they grow up. And I believe usually that's kind of how they do it. So they're on site and growing up as a part of this flock, and probably occupying the same hen houses in an age group, and then they grow up together and begin to produce eggs at about the same time. And so if you're the egg farmer going to gather up the produce and take it into market in a local type environment, you go to a particular hen house, open the door, the little egg receptacle area, and pull out what eggs have been laid. And odds are that those are all going to come from like-aged chickens. So if that was the time when they were most likely to produce those yolks, in any given thing, every other or even higher hen may have laid a double yolk egg, and put them all together, and you have decent odds of, when in any half dozen or dozen eggs, you have a pretty decent chance that a high percentage of those would all have double yolk. So mystery solved, and that's what it is. If you get them, you then have a pretty decent chance of getting multiples if you're in that small environment. Now, I go to the supermarket, I get not fancy, just regular old double A extra large eggs, or large eggs, or whatever they are, the eggs. And you're talking about large scale operations, so it would be less likely that even if they were supplementing their chicken flock, that all of those would go into the same area and then be pulled and processed into the same dozen eggs. So that would be a pretty remarkable coincidence. But that was my story. It made us go extra long. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, lots of hubris in this one. Be very careful when you do control Q. I talked about it when I was first kind of doing it to dump lava stuff. You have to go slow. You have to be careful. And when I was dumping those magma creams, it was kind of like, oh no! I was clicking on it without, man, they were gone. So I had to replace those golden apples, most of a stack. But we came through unscathed and got our Ghast Hall done. Got a ton of tears. Pretty much done. We can set that to the side for now. And in the next episode, we'll come back. Play around a little bit with Arbalistic and a couple of the mobs that I wanted to try out going into that. And it may take a couple tries. We'll have to do poisons to get them weakened down so that they're ready to be processed, and dig out our crossbow, dust that off. So can't wait to see you back for the next one. Should be fun, and hope you guys are doing well and enjoying a great weekend. See you next time. Bye now.